Welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports, with me, Coach Ryan D. It's game morning. Round 2, Habs, Jets. Unfreaking believable. I don't even think Canada had any idea this was coming. Sportsnet is bummed. YouTubers are bummed. Anyone creating content or needing clicks or viewership is bummed because the Leafs are gone. But let me tell you, hockey fans that aren't Toronto Maple Leaf fans, stoked. They couldn't be happier. They love I told you so moments, and this is an I told you so for all of those fans that think the Leafs were overrated. That's not a shot against Leafs fans. Leafs fans are fantastic. It is a shot against the fact that it is a Leafs world and we're all just living in it, but not this year. Habs Jets preview for this morning. We're going to go over Phillip Danault and the checking line to the Montreal Canadiens, how the Winnipeg line and Montreal Canadian lines are going to match up, Hellebuyck versus Price, Ducharme versus Maurice. 4 big topics. Stick with us till the end. Roll the intro.
Here's Lemieux. His center penalty coming up. Look at Lemieux.
All right, so the first thing we need to talk about, I truly think, is not a battle of the goaltenders. It is going to be Phillip Danault and the fact that he is one of the best shutdown forwards in the league. Speaking of shutdown, we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and we are not looking to slow down or shut down anytime soon. So please smash a subscribe down below if you're a Habs fan. Smash a subscribe down below if you're a Jets fan. We're going to cover both teams all the way through the playoffs. If the Jets win, we're going to the Cup with them. The Habs win, we're going to the Cup with the Habs. You can't lose. We're here all day. So Phillip Danault, I have heard, I have seen, I have viewed with my eyes. I looked at the stats, one of the best shutdown forwards in the league. But it's one man alone against an entire army of goal-scoring Winnipeg Jets. You have Scheifele, Connor, and Wheeler, the Jets' de facto number 1 line. Tons of offense and scoring that comes through that line. I have heard about Matthews. I've heard about Marner. Well, there's 2 main points to note. One, before they met Phillip Danault, they were known as, well, not the best playoff performers. And also, it was 2 players with Zach Hyman. Hyman was still able to get open and score a couple goals. What is going to happen when the Winnipeg Jets start rolling out Dubois, Stastny, Ehlers? And then we'll get into talking about the third line as well too, but that's another point. Back to Danault. Danault is likely going to match up against the Scheifele, Wheeler, Connor line. And can these 3, Gallagher, Danault, and Evans, can they really match up with the elite scoring potential of Kyle Connor, the veteran presence of Blake Wheeler, and frankly, the all-around 2-way play and leadership of Mark Scheifele? I'm not sure. This is a balanced line that isn't looking to feed just one player to score goals. This is 3 players with balanced assist, goal, and point totals. The shooter on the line is absolutely going to be Kyle Connor, but all 3 of these guys can bury the biscuit. Danault is one man. Gallagher is not bad. Evans is not bad. But you got to think this is going to be a really tough matchup for Phillip here. So let's see. What's my opinion? I think the Scheifele, Wheeler, Connor line is going to blow up this defensive structure of this line. So let's talk about line matchups for a minute. We've already talked about the fact that Danault is going to match up against the Scheifele line, but who's going to end up matching against the KK line? I know that's not line 2, it's line 3. Stick with me, Habs. I know where I'm going with this. The KK line featuring Byron and Anderson, or is it Byron? I don't know. However you guys want to say the name, right? The KK line featuring Byron and Anderson is a pretty good line, and it's a nice depth line, but this line is going to likely match up against the Winnipeg Jets number 2 line, and the Winnipeg Jets number 2 line only features the Winnipeg Jets best forward right now in Nick Ehlers. He may be the Winnipeg Jets best player, not named Connor Hellebuyck. He is a 2-way force. He has exploded onto the scene this year. You had a lot of trouble containing Willie Nylander. I know. We'll never get off the Leafs. Willie Nylander from the Toronto Maple Leafs. When you add a better version of him, and Nick Ehlers is a better version of Willie, this is going to be tough and goals are going to be had. Pierre-Luc Dubois and Paul Stastny are also some of the best defensive forwards and playmaking forwards on the Jets. I do expect Kotkaniemi to be able to score a couple, same with Caulfield up on line 2, but I think this line is really going to be where the Habs have a lot of trouble, and this line is going to swing the series. So line 2 for the Habs, we have Suzuki, we have Caulfield. This is the scoring line. Toffolli is on this line as well too. He's having kind of a renaissance year. What's going to happen? Oh yeah, Adam Lowry Mason Appleton and Andrew Copp, the line that ended up shutting down the two greatest offensive players in the world and maybe of the last 25 years, is going to be matched against this line. I don't see this line having much of a chance to break out since McDavid was held to basically nothing. Nothing. This is the greatest player in the NHL. You can say whatever you want about the fact that they lost to the Jets in the first round. There's no team around him, but they paired Draisaitl with McDavid, and this line handled them. No problem. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Caulfield, good player, good shooter. Not Leon Draisaitl. Suzuki, great centerman. Future star in the NHL. Not and never going to be Connor McDavid. I don't know if this line offers the same challenge, but they're good and they're deadly. There's no bad players in the NHL, but I think the Jets' third line eats them for lunch. However, the Habs X factor here is going to be their fourth line. Their fourth line has a lot of talent. Eric Stahl required at the trade deadline. Joel Armia can score. We know he's going to be on a revenge tour against his old team, the Winnipeg Jets. And we know we go ahead and we add in Corey Perry. Corey Perry could be a big problem for the Jets. Corey Perry is a tough player. He's a former league MVP. Corey Perry can score goals. And the line four of the Winnipeg Jets, although it's not bad with Lewis, Thompson, and Perreault, the Habs veterans beat our veterans on that line. So this is going to be a really interesting battle. Winnipeg is definitely going to win the battle of line twos because they're going to end up being paired against the KK line. I think Winnipeg ends up beating the battle on line two for Montreal because the checking line of Winnipeg is going to end up there. So we have a 2-3 swap. I think the line ones almost cancel each other out. I'll go ahead and give Danault some credit and say he shuts down the Scheifele line. It's going to really come down to that fourth line. Habs fourth line looks pretty good. So going forward, that's what we have. The next point we want to look at is the goaltending breakdowns. You have former Vezina Trophy winner Carey Price, current Vezina Trophy winner Connor Hellebuyck. And yeah, he didn't get nominated. Winnipeg never gets credit for these types of awards because frankly, they're only watched by a handful of people in the media. Andrei Vasilevskiy ends up getting a pass because like, oh, he's Andrei Vasilevskiy. He's on the Lightning. We have to promote something. Philip Grubauer isn't in Connor Hellebuyck's league. He couldn't snap his pads together. Sorry. Should have been Fleury. Should have been Vasilevskiy. Should have been Hellebuyck. 12-game slide. Whatever. Moneypuck.com. Hellebuyck is the best goalie by advanced statistics in the NHL. But Carey Price is Carey Price. Playoff Price, as this veteran goaltender continues to get older, he ages like a fine wine. He refines his game. He understands how to play in the net, and he can absolutely steal the series. But I think when a game is going to be coming down to multiple overtimes, like I expect this series to be, this game is going to come within one goal of each other within each game. This is going to be 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 games at best. Goaltending is going to be the key. But I think Connor Hellebuyck not only out-goaltends Carey Price today, we can't talk about the past, we're just talking about today. I think the Jets scoring is deeper than the Habs. I think the Jets scoring is deeper than the Leafs. You can argue me all you want in the comments. It's deeper than the Leafs. I'm never getting off that hill. Hey, and Leafs fans, if we end up lighting them up for 4, well, then I told you so. And yeah, you got 4 in like one game, but we might do it 4 in a row. We'll see. Something you don't know how to do. Win 4. Great things coming for. Coaching battles. Ducharme versus Maurice. Ducharme is the new interim coach for Montreal. Maurice is the grizzled veteran that has been around the NHL for a very long time. Ducharme likes to put his players into a blender, come out with new combinations. This is clearly Ducharme's best combination yet. I hope he ends up sticking with it because I don't know any other way I would play these lines myself. Paul Maurice likes to do the same thing over and over and over again. Tried, tested, and true. We doubted Maurice on this channel before. He ended up sweeping the Oilers. This man knows what he's doing. Even when I get down on him, I mean, I'm a fan. I get frustrated like everybody else. But even when we get down on him, Paul Maurice ends up figuring it out. So he is going back to his old reliable Scheifele, Wheeler, Connor line. He ends up having Ehlers, Dubois, and Stastny. Perreault and his fourth line have basically been set all year with the exception of injuries, and that third line is never going to break up. I think Appleton and Copp are at this point Siamese twins. His defensive pairings are going to be exactly what we predict them to be. He is old, steady, and reliable versus the new hotness of Ducharme. Who ends up taking this series? Well, I think the series actually is going to come down to coaching at this point. There is a lot of even-steven places for this teams to match up, and frankly, I always give the edge of experience to the veteran, but you never know what you're going to get with Ducharme. You have no idea. So has Ducharme found lightning in a bottle? Is he going to be able to figure this out? We'll see. The Jets' power play and penalty kill, which is a very strong indication of coaching prowess, is one of the best in the league now. The Jets' power play, they had a number 2 power play going into that little tiny stretch they had where they had a bump in the road. It lowered to number 7, but the Jets' power play features 2 very good lines that he ends up mixing up from time to time. Nikolaj Ehlers ends up just being one of the most dominant power play players, and no matter what, Montreal is coming in here with the 22nd rated penalty kill. It's not that good. And it wasn't really that good against the Leafs. The Leafs power play is just terrible. I don't know why it's terrible, but it's terrible. The Winnipeg Jets power play is tried and true, and they get scoring from all 5 players in the power play. They're not just setting up one big shot like an Ovechkin on the wing. It can come from anywhere, from absolutely anywhere. I think it's going to be too much for the Montreal Canadiens to handle. I think Paul Maurice ends up outdueling Ducharme in line matchups, in power play, and in penalty kill, the 3 areas where coaches matter most. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. This is going to be a hot series. I have the Jets in 5. I think it's a close 5, but I have the Jets in 5. Tons of Habs fans here. You're welcome to be here. Comment down below. Let me know how I'm wrong. Let me know that it's going to be the Habs in 7 or 6. Let me know I'm a doubter, I'm a hater, but we'll end up following the Habs all the way through, and I'll definitely eat some crow if we come back tonight and the Habs take game 1. Not a big deal. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. This has been Coach Ryan D.